On the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and National Reunification, April 30th. 1975 April 30th, 2025. This video presents the full text of the profound article by General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam, Tu Lam. It is a powerful reflection on the Vietnamese people's unbreakable unity, their heroic journey through struggle, sacrifice, and the undying aspiration for peace, independence, and national pride. Join us as we revisit the historic moments that shaped Vietnam's destiny and honor the enduring spirit that continues to inspire future generations. Subscribe for more meaningful stories about Vietnam's history, culture, and the spirit of resilience. The moment the liberation flag soared atop the Independence Palace at noon on April 30th, 1975, was etched into the nation's history as a monumental event, the complete liberation of the South, the reunification of the country, and the land brought together as one. It was not only a glorious victory for the Vietnamese people in their arduous resistance against the American imperialists but also a shining symbol of revolutionary heroism, of the will for independence and self-reliance, and the strength of great national unity. The aspiration for a peaceful, unified, independent, and free Vietnam has been the sacred flame nurturing the national spirit over thousands of years of history. From the days when the Hung kings founded the nation to the present, through countless wars of resistance to protect the land and its borders, patriotism and national spirit have been the red thread running through Vietnam's historical journey. Under the leadership of the party and President Ho Chi Minh, this aspiration became an unparalleled spiritual force, propelling all classes of people, united as one, to overcome every hardship and challenge, to reclaim independence in 1945, defeat colonialists in 1954, and reunify the country in 1975. The victory of a heroic nation. The victory of April 30th, 1975, not only marked the end of the longest and most brutal war in modern Vietnamese history but also became a radiant milestone in the journey of nation-building and defense. It was the triumph of faith, of the yearning for independence, freedom, and national unity. The victory of the great strength of national solidarity under the wise leadership of the Communist Party of Vietnam. The victory of the truth that nothing is more precious than independence and freedom, and of the eternal patriotism and indomitable spirit of the Vietnamese people, as well as the progressive forces and peace-loving people around the world. The April 30th victory was the ultimate achievement of Vietnam's unyielding determination that no force could divide the country. President Ho Chi Minh, our nation's brilliant leader, affirmed an immortal truth. Vietnam is one. The Vietnamese nation is one. Rivers may dry up, mountains may erode, but this truth shall never change. His words were not only a sacred declaration of sovereignty and territorial integrity but also a guiding torch, an inspiration, and a source of strength for generations of Vietnamese during the harsh and ferocious years of war. The victory of April 30th, 1975, is a vivid testament to the era's philosophy that nothing is more precious than independence and freedom. Beyond a military triumph, this victory was the crystallization of intellect, courage, and a fervent desire for lasting peace and national self-determination for a people long subjected to colonialism, division, and oppression, as General Secretary Le Duan once emphasized. This victory belongs not to any individual but to the entire Vietnamese nation. And as poet Tu Hu wrote, "No sorrow belongs to just one person, this victory is shared by all humanity." The Great Spring Victory of 1975 also left a profound imprint on the global stage, inspiring liberation movements across Asia, Africa, and Latin America, encouraging peoples to stand up against neo-colonialism to reclaim freedom and independence. It was a victory of justice over brute force, a declaration to the international community that a small nation, armed with righteousness, unity, and unyielding will, and with the sincere support of international friends and peace-loving peoples, could indeed overcome vastly more powerful forces. The will and aspiration for national reunification. Throughout the 30-year-long resistance against colonialism and imperialism, 1945 to 1975, the Vietnamese people faced untold hardships, sacrifices, and losses. Yet, the will for an independent, unified Vietnam was never shaken. In his appeal on National Day, September 2, 1955, President Ho Chi Minh declared, "Vietnam will certainly be unified, for our country is a unified entity that no one can divide." In a letter to the compatriots nationwide in 1956, he wrote, "National reunification is the path to survival for our people." Even when the war entered its most arduous and fierce phase, on July 17, 1966, he resolutely proclaimed, "The war may last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or longer. Hanoi, Haiphong, and other cities and factories may be devastated, but the Vietnamese people are determined not to fear. Nothing is more precious than independence and freedom. On the day of victory, our people will rebuild our country to be more beautiful and prosperous than ever before." True to those words, under the leadership of President Ho Chi Minh and our party, the Vietnamese military and people surmounted countless difficulties, gradually defeating modern war strategies with their unwavering faith in the righteousness of their cause and the spirit of national independence. President Ho Chi Minh's declaration that Vietnam is one, the Vietnamese nation is one, was not merely a truth or a strategic directive, it was a command from the heart of the nation. Amid the smoke and fire of war, those words became a tremendous source of strength, inspiring millions of Vietnamese to march onto the battlefield with the determination to sacrifice to the last breath for the survival of the fatherland. His words were a sacred call, symbolizing the unyielding determination to overcome all pain and hardship to win back independence, freedom, and national unity, to bring happiness and prosperity to the people. Throughout more than 30 years of resistance and nation-building, millions of outstanding sons and daughters of the nation bravely fought and sacrificed. Countless families lost loved ones. Villages and cities were ravaged. Generations of young people had to set aside their dreams of education and future aspirations to answer the call to defend the nation, swearing not to return home until the enemy is defeated. Mothers bid farewell to sons, wives to husbands, without knowing whether they would ever meet again. Children grew up under the rain of bombs and storms of bullets, learning their letters in underground shelters, subsisting on corn, sweet potatoes, and cassava instead of rice. Soldiers, youth volunteers, and logistics workers fell across the S-shaped land of the fatherland. Liberation commandos fought in enemy strongholds. Guerrillas endured in remote swamps and villages. And liberation soldiers crossed the Ben Hai River, scaled the Trong Son Range, all carrying within them an unshakable belief. The Vietnamese people would reclaim the right to master their own country, and the North and South would be reunited under one roof. The victory of April 30, 1975, was the crystallization of an indomitable spirit, an unyielding ideal, and the blood and bones of millions of Vietnamese patriots. It was born from profound love for the homeland, the unwavering confidence in victory, and an unbreakable determination never to retreat. Half a century has passed since the land was reunited, yet the echoes of that triumphant song still resonate in the soul of the Vietnamese nation. On this momentous anniversary, we solemnly remember President Ho Chi Minh, the beloved leader of our party and people, the great teacher of the Vietnamese Revolution, the hero of national liberation, the world cultural figure, and the eminent soldier of the international communist movement, who laid the ideological foundation for national liberation and reunification. We also express our eternal gratitude to the pioneering leaders of the party, to the heroic martyrs, intellectuals, patriots, and countless compatriots and soldiers across the country who courageously fought and sacrificed for that noble ideal. The generations of today and tomorrow will forever remember their sacrifices for the independence of the fatherland, for the happiness of the people, and for the everlasting survival and development of the Vietnamese nation. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to international friends, the progressive forces, the fraternal socialist countries, humanitarian organizations, and the peace-loving people around the world, who stood in solidarity with and supported Vietnam during the years of the national liberation struggle and in the subsequent efforts to rebuild and develop the country. The deep and selfless support and affection from international friends will forever be cherished, respected, and engraved in the hearts of the Vietnamese people. Thank you for watching. Vietnam is one. The Vietnamese nation is one. If you found this video meaningful, please like, share it with others who may benefit from these insights, and subscribe to our channel Eastern Wisdom Today. By joining our community, you'll stay connected to more videos. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to sharing more with you soon.